Boys, today we are back, and today we are going to be discussing Dana White. In a recent interview, said that Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler is off at the White House. He said McGregor might not even fight on the White House. And plus, we have, after this, like a day later after this interview, we have Jorge Masvidal. He was saying some stuff in an interview. So we're going to get right into it. First off, I think this was on Thursday or Wednesday night or Thursday. Dana White did an interview with Complex, and he said Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler is not realistic, and that fight was, a couple years ago. He said it won't be booked for the White House. He said it's off, which is crazy because, I think that's the fight that, everyone wants to see at the White House. With Dana White, I've been on Dana White's case recently, but, this guy really is brain dead, at least when it comes to the UFC. I don't know, what he's going to do with his boxing shit, but, us UFC fans, we don't give a fuck about Zuffa boxing. So Dana White, he's trying to intentionally, bring down his company for some reason. I want to figure out why, but I just can't right now. We got to dig a little deeper. But, he's trying to, fuck up his company. So I guess McGregor, as he said, McGregor, not fighting Chandler at the White House. He brought up Alex versus John, the interview guy did, and Dana was like, yeah, but John's not reliable, so that fight's probably not going to happen. So we're probably going to get like Islam versus Kamaru Usman, or like fucking Justin Gaethje versus fucking, I don't even know, Max Holloway too, or some shit. Some bullshit for the White House, but this was huge news. Dana says Conor won't be booked against Chandler. He said the fight is not realistic, and that was a couple years ago. First off, that was like 2.5 years ago. Chandler still wants it. McGregor, I think McGregor wants to come back. I don't think he cares who he comes back against. But I mean, obviously Chandler would be favorable matchup. I think he chins Chandler probably in like 2 rounds. But I don't know why Dana doesn't want this. Like, oh my god. Dana doesn't understand what the fans want. Like, he thinks he understands what fans want, but he doesn't. He only cares what he cares about. He doesn't give a fuck about the fans. So obviously the fans want to see this, but he doesn't really give a shit about the fans. So that's why he said it's off. Next, Ariel discussed Dana White's comments. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get copyrighted. I don't even know if that's copyright or not, but I'm just going to, be on the safe side. But he said that, everything that he was hearing was that it was going to be McGregor versus Chandler. Like, the fight was still on, talks were ongoing, it was good. And then this interview came out and it changed. And he said maybe there's like a wrinkle in the plan now. So even Ariel's saying like this, the fight might not be on anymore. So it's actually really crazy to me that this fight's not going to happen. I wonder what is going to be on the White House, bro. If it's not McGregor versus Chandler, but I'm going to get to something later that, it might happen. But if it's not McGregor versus Chandler, who's it going to be? Like, you can't put, like flyweight, you can't put a title fight, like a flyweight title fight, especially with the contenders right now. None of them are American. Bantamweight, maybe Sean O'Malley. Bro, I could low-key see Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan 2 as a main event, which, I don't know, that would fucking suck. I mean, that would be a good fight, but for the White House, I want something big for the White House. Like, I want like a Alex versus John. I want like a Conor versus Chandler, or Conor versus just someone. Nate Diaz honestly could. Conor versus Nate 3, that would be a banger. Maybe they go with that, but they don't really fuck with Nate Diaz, so I don't know if that happens, but that would just be an absolute banger. I don't want fucking Islam. Islam versus Ilya, yes, but that fight is so like far. Maybe it's not far-fetched if Justin Gaethje wins next weekend, but the fight's like, I don't know. I don't see that fight happening for the White House. I don't want fucking Kamaru Usman. I don't want fucking... Who else is even a champion? Alex would be cool. I don't want Aspinall gone. Like, that would be dull for the White House. Like, you need someone like American. Michael Chandler versus McGregor would have been perfect, but I don't know. Ariel says, there might be a wrinkle in the plans, and, if he's saying that, I believe it. So, yeah, Chandler, you might be fucked. McGregor responded, a few hours after the interview. He said, pick who you want. The Max sweats nothing and nobody. I'm tasty shots. He says he's tasty shots. So I really think like McGregor doesn't give a shit who he fights. Like, if it's not Chandler, it's fine. Like, I don't think he cares, but I think he knows that'd be a favorable matchup for him. Like, it's like a Eddie Alvarez type matchup. So I think McGregor would, do good even after like a 4-year layoff. So I think he wants that fight, but he honestly doesn't care who it is in the long run. I think he just wants to be back. And if he's not back on the White House card, I don't know where you bring him back. Like, if you're not bringing him back for the biggest event of the year and maybe of all time, like, where are you going to bring him back? I could see them like maybe putting him like the card after, so you get a big White House card, then you get a big Conor McGregor fight, like 2 big major events. Dana would be cooking if he did that, but he probably won't because he's trying to intentionally ruin the sport because he's a fucking idiot. So we're probably not going to get that, but I could see the UFC, making the White House card huge, a lot of title fights, and then the next pay-per-view. If you use a lot of title fights on the White House card, you don't need, if you put McGregor versus anyone in there, that doesn't need to be a title. That could be a main event. So maybe we get 2 big main events back to back, but we'll see. But McGregor doesn't care who he fights, and he's tasty shots, as he says. So yeah, we fuck with McGregor right there. Next, I'm just putting in like a little meme, like the roster updates. This is kind of like a little meme. McGregor fight fumbled Michael Chandler. It's really sad, man. If it isn't Chandler, I dead ass will be sad. Like, not that the fight's not happening because I just want to see McGregor fight anyone, but I'd feel real bad for Michael Chandler, bro. This guy's gone through the ringer when it comes to McGregor. Like, he was like 2 weeks away from fighting him, or like a week and a half, and then McGregor pulls out with his pinky toe, like. And then Chandler waited all that time, and then he came back and he got fucking demolished and dominated by my boy Charles. That was such a sick performance, other than the illegal back of the head shots in the 5th round, but we're not talking about that right now. But yeah, he comes back, he gets absolutely schooled by Charles, he loses to Paddy Pimblett very embarrassingly, gets finished by Paddy, so that wasn't a good look. And now he thought he was going to get the McGregor fight again. He might not, so I feel bad for him if he doesn't get it. Shit, man, maybe just hang it up because this fighting shit's not for you if you don't get the fucking McGregor fight. Maybe like one more as a retirement fight, but if you don't get the McGregor fight, bro, just low-key pack it up. And you're kind of washed anyway, so it might be a good idea. But now, this is the last topic I'm going to talk about. A day after this interview came out, Jorge Masvidal teased a very big fight in an interview with MMA Junkie. He said, this is a quote, "I can't really say too much, but I'm training for something big, something very big. I have some fight news coming soon, and it's very big news, and I can't deny or confirm it's McGregor. I'm Trump's favorite fighter. Just remember that at all times. I can't deny or confirm any of that right now, but hopefully soon I can, maybe in 10 days or something." Which I don't know why 10 days. Maybe he was just like saying that just to like throw out something, but 10 days from this interview would have been like 2 days after the first Paramount card. So maybe he meant to say like 7 days or something. I don't know. Maybe they'll announce it on the first Paramount card. I could see them doing it. First Paramount card, want to announce something big. They announce Masvidal versus McGregor. Like I said, maybe Dana White said that in the interview that McGregor Chandler's off just from the side of like Chandler. Maybe from the side that we don't want McGregor versus Chandler. We still want McGregor on the White House, but we don't want it to be against Chandler. We want it to be against Nate Diaz. Or in this case, it sounds like potentially it might be Jorge versus Conor. And this would be a banger. Low key though, I'd really want to see. I think Chandler is better than Jorge at this point in time, so it would be a more competitive fight with Chandler and McGregor. And I think Chandler's way more explosive than Masvidal is at this stage of his career. But Masvidal is a way bigger name, way bigger fan base than Michael Chandler. So this would be an absolute banger. Jorge, he's American, Cuban American, but he's American. Trump likes him. I could see this happening, man. This would be such a banger fight. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm excited if this happens. But Dana, he said, McGregor no at the White House, but maybe he was just, saying that on the side of Chandler, but we'll see. I hope they announce this shit soon. He said Dana said they're going to start, talking about the White House card after 325 in Sydney, but maybe they just announced the main event. Hopefully they announce the main event on that first Paramount card. That would be fire. But yeah, that's all I have. Jorge versus McGregor, maybe in the works. That would be a banger fight. I feel really bad for Chandler. And if McGregor's not at the White House, then I don't know what the fuck Dana White's doing. Fire him, exterminate him from the company. And Hunter Campbell, please take over and save us. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you prefer Chandler versus McGregor? Would you prefer Masvidal versus McGregor? Diaz versus McGregor 3 would probably be the biggest fight, but the least competitive, in my opinion. And yeah, man, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.